Okay, so welcome back to another episode of my workshop journey. The gluing that we did up last week has held, and that's nice and square. All I've got to do now is glue this one into place, and then we're ready for the varnishing next week. There we go, that's gluing up nicely, and we'll leave that till next week. Now, if you remember from episode 2 of our journey, I was using the router fence, but I was having trouble with the positioning of it. I couldn't get it far enough back because it attaches to the bench through these two slots here, and there are two holes here. I couldn't get the unit far enough back, and one suggestion was to drill multiple holes. That's a possibility, but I do have these two T-tracks, and so I thought, could I make use of those as well? So what I've decided to do, I'm going to keep the front face because the dust extraction port is attached. I can reuse all of that, and what I will do, I've decided, is discard this whole unit and make something else to go on the back of the face, and that way I can attach it to the two T-tracks. So that's what I'm going to start planning now. So that's the rear of the fence holder, and it's fairly strong. Well, it is very strong. It's cast iron and it's done a good job, but it's time for a rethink. So what I'm thinking is, I've got another piece of the oak faced MDF. What I thought, if I cut two pieces to go either side of the dust extraction section and at the same width, That will give me plenty of room for the locking mechanism with the T-track, and then I can brace both sides with some wood like that. That will keep it nice and square, keep it tight, and I'll be able to lock it nicely. Let's see how it goes. $79. So 1, 2, 3, 4. First waste. 2 there, 2 there. And what I think I'll do is cut a big slot in there so that the piece of wood can go across like that. So it's 19.5 millimeters, which means I need the 20 mil, which is that one. Now, I don't know whether, I can't remember whether I've mentioned it or not before, but most of these bits have come from Wealden Tools, a very good British company. I've found them, they have a lot of choice. They're all excellently made, and on the shank here gives you the size of the cutter. That is the 20 mil. That's the one I want. that's the router setup. That's roughly where I want it, but I'm just going to check now where I actually do want these supports. So long as it looks roughly equal, that'll be fine. About like that, just to double check how even it is. That's about 30mm, and that's not a bad guess. That's 30mm as well. So that's where I want the cuts. Just make sure everything is nice and square at that position. That's the way I want it. That's the waste side for that. And the next one. And we might as well keep it the same, 30mm. $30mm. That's the direction of waste. Now I just have to mark that round so I can see both sides. There we go. And I will only have to do this the once, because all of the cuts will be the same. That's about the size of it. And just check that side. That's fine. That's fine. That's a nice fit. And that will go like that. So all I need to do is glue those pieces together like that, and then glue that to that and that, then I can screw from the other side. As I mentioned last time, I like to keep these nice and clean. MDF is a very dry wood, of course, so there's no resin in there to burn, but the wood itself can burn at times. So it's just a case of making sure there's no build-up. That's nice and clean like that. Spotted WD-50, WD-40, WD-50, where did that one come from? Just to make sure everything's nice and dry. Drop of 3-in-1 oil on the bare metal surfaces to make sure everything is nice and protected when it goes back in the box. And all done for next time. Now I said I'd glue those. I think I'm going to glue and screw just to make sure. So all I'm going to do is drill a couple of holes in those slots on both pieces, then I can glue and then screw from the bottom. And I tend to use Spax screws. I find them very good for all types of timber. They do have a cutting thread right at the bottom just to make sure that they bite, and I've never had any problems whatsoever. Now I've just got the 20mm box out. I think that needs the 25 or 30mm just to make sure. This is the first opportunity I've had of using a new toy. On Thursday we went to Chesterfield second-hand market and I came across this little old Black & Decker drill and stand. Now it's the first drill and stand that I've ever had, so I thought, why not? It was a fair price for what I wanted, and for what I will use it for, it's going to be ideal. So it's just a case of positioning it and then dropping the head. When I get the hang of it. That's good. Just give those a quick whiz with a bit of sandpaper and that will be smooth. Now one thing I am going to have to do is mark on here where I want these bolt holes to go. So the easiest way to do that, because those two holes are already at the right distance, all I need to do is mark across there. That's where the holes will go, and then I'll drill those two holes. What I will do as well is make sure that I drill some holes in there so that I can screw from the front into here, and that will help to keep everything nice and solid. Well, on here I've marked the line, the centre line for where that's going to go. I've marked the middle point roughly of the cut, so that's where those two holes are going to go. On the base I've marked the thickness of the base, so I'm going to put 3 screw holes on either side, and then I can start gluing up. Don't know what you're getting at times, and so I've got to sort out why this keeps dropping, but we'll do that some other time. and the first 3 have gone all the way through, the second 3 haven't. Oh well, try again. And those 3 are through. And I think the 25mm is going to be too short. So let's go for the 35. That should give me plenty of purchase. That's much better. That's going in a lot easier. Wipe up the excess glue and that will set on its own account. Next one. Go. So that's those 2. Again, just wipe up the excess glue. That will go off nicely, held by the screws. Now, one thing I did forget, I need to put some screws in this face to hold everything nice and tight as well. So I'm just going to mark that up and then I'll drill those. So I ended up using 50mm screws just to make sure that I'd got everything nice and tight. That's everything glued to the back, glued to the bottom, screwed just to make sure everything's nice and tight, and all I've got to do now is fit it. There we go, that's nice and tight, and it slides all the way back and all the way forward. That's wonderful. That's going to be a great help. So that's as far as I'm going for today. I'm just going to pack up and then we'll see you in the next episode.